at Simsbury High School for tonight's soccer game between the Indians of Manchester and our own Simsbury Trojans. Tonight's contest is a CCC interdivisional game. At this time, we'd like to announce the starting lineups. First, for our visitors from Manchester. At midfield, number 7, Tommy Barrett. At defense, number 17, Matt Barney. At midfield, number 15, Dylan Cherko. At midfield, number 9, Nate Daly. At forward, number 12, Otto Donkor. At defense, number 24, Robert Lee Garcia. At forward, number 18, Jake Garlitz. At midfield, number 16, Andrew Hurd. At defense, number 14, Alex Marquis. At forward, number 6, Mitch Spencer. And in goal for the Indians, Patrick Mockler. Manchester is coached by John Tedesco, assisted by Dave Maloney and James Tierney. The Indians enter tonight's contest with a record of 3-5-0. And now, your starting lineup for the Simsbury Trojans. In goal, senior Peter Sconzo. At defense, senior captain number 17, Mason Burr. At defense, junior number 8, Jack Petrina. At defense, at defense, junior number 23, Rick Olekna. At defense, junior number 14, Connor Roach. At midfield, senior captain number 21, Keegan Rice. At midfield, junior number 19, Spencer Rouse. At midfield, senior number 9, John Flynn. At midfield, senior captain number 7, Sean Gaffney. At forward, junior number 20, Pat Shea. And at forward, junior number 18, Ryan Giuliano. The Trojans enter tonight's contest with a record of 2-3-3 and are coached by Ed Lynch, assisted by Rob Thompson. At this time, we would ask that you please rise, direct your attention to the south end of the field for the playing of our national anthem. The officials for tonight's contest are Jose Sandoval and Tom Felice. And on behalf of the officials, the coaches, and all the players, we'd like to remind all in attendance that sportsmanship is the expectation. So please let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the fans be positive. Thank you, and enjoy the game.
And welcome everyone to tonight's game between the Indians of Manchester High School. The boys varsity team is going to play Simsbury High School, the Trojans, tonight. The Manchester Indians come in with a record of 3-5-0. That's 3 wins, 5 losses, no ties. And the Simsbury High School Trojans come in with a record of 2 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties. Last game, the Trojans played the Chieftains of Conrad, and they ended up losing that game with a score of 4-1. But they did have a chance in that game. They ended up tying up the game in the second half with about 19 minutes left to go in the game, only to see it disappear 2 minutes later. They conceded again to Conrad. One of their players actually had a hat trick in that game. He ended up scoring the next 3 goals to end up winning the game for Conrad by, again, a score of 4-1. Conard, was the school, not Conrad. Right now, both teams are huddling up on the field, getting ready for the start of this game. Beautiful Friday night here, October 4th. We're almost at peak season of the foliage. The branches are starting to pop. We still have some light, but the lights are on the field. We're getting ready to kick this game off. The refs just signaled that they're ready for the teams to take up position. Last game, the only scorer for Simsbury was Patrick Shea. The defender took a lovely cross from Spencer Ralphs and took it right off his head and put it in the back of the goal. And actually, Patrick Shea is lining up as a forward right now to start the game. That's him right there in the middle, number 20. Again, he was the goal scorer last game. I guess they may have moved him up because of his size and his ability to score. And we're underway here at Simsbury. Sean Gaffney gets the ball on the sideline and easily defended there by Manchester. Goes out of bounds for a throw-in. Sean Gaffney tosses the ball back to Jack Petrina. Spencer Ralph settles on the sideline. Centers it into the middle of the field to the 18, but nobody can get on the end of it for Simsbury. Cleared away by Manchester. 50-50 ball won by the Indians as number 12 looks to make a run up the field. Number 12 is Atto Donkor. Again, he gets the ball. Some of the green cleats there. Patrick Shea wins the ball at midfield, passes back to Keegan Rice. Keegan shields the ball, but loses out. Ball kind of going in between teams right now. Adho Condor gets the ball, tries to give a through ball to his teammate in the corner. His teammate gets on the end of it, but gives it up to Simsbury. Mason Burr clears up the field to Patrick Shea. And Shea looks to make a run now up the sidelines, see if Giuliano can get the ball to him. He can't. But now Jack Petrina passes it up the field. Good flick on by Patrick Shea, but nobody's there in the middle for Simsbury. And that ball goes through about 3 different players for Simsbury and Manchester. Now through ball fails, headed away by the Indians. Now Spencer Rouse with the ball. Little chip pass to Sean Gaffney. Can't get there, trying to make his run, but it goes out for a Simsbury corner kick. About 2 minutes gone here in the game, and the first corner kick for Simsbury. Last game, Spencer Rouse was the one that had the assist to Patrick Shea, and Patrick Shea is waiting there in the middle, but he can't find any of his teammates in the 18. Keegan Rice wins the ball back. John Flynn now trying to run through the defense, giving a through ball to Patrick Shea, who gets on the end of it, but it goes out of bounds for a Manchester goal kick. Just like the first game against New Britain, Simsbury did a very good job last game of winning the ball in the air, but they couldn't keep possession. But let's see if they can, again, continue that great play of winning the ball in the air. That time it comes off the head of an Indian, but cut out by Mason Burr. He settles but loses out and then gains possession back. Tries to make a through ball to Sean Gaffney, but cut out by the Indians. Now passed upfield by Manchester. Simsbury's having a bit of a trouble settling it down. Good move, though, by number 23, Rick Olekna, to get by the defender. Keep possession now. A through ball for Sean Gaffney. He's got a run going, but the defender is right there, shielding him off. Sean Gaffney still has the ball, makes a move around the defender. Still keeps possession, passes back to Giuliano. Simsbury might have something going here. They got some men forward. Passes out wide to Sean Gaffney, but in the end loses out to the Indian defender. Indians still have possession at midfield. And they pass up to Addo Donkor, who loses out. Now Spencer Ralphs looks to make a move. Gets around the defender. Now Patrick Shea tries to get on the end of the pass. Cannot. Cleared away by Manchester for a Simsbury throw-in. Actually, they're calling it a Manchester throw-in, an Indian throw-in. Didn't happen to see that deflection. But Simsbury wins the header, settles down. Rick Olekna passes to the middle. Connor Roche passes up the sideline to John Flynn. He looks to cross in the ball to Sean Gaffney. Jack Petrina right there tries to take a shot on goal, but it goes high and wide. It's kind of a tough ball to get on the end of and get on goal as it was bouncing. Bouncing a little high for Jack Petrina, but good attempt in the end. Goes out for another goal kick. One in the air by Spencer Ralphs, but it goes straight to an Indian. Keegan Rice cuts it off, though, and now Simsbury has a few men forward. And through ball to Giuliano, but he is called offsides. And he was offsides by maybe a step or two. However, a good run by Simsbury as they're looking to get forward. Looks like at least in the beginning of this game, they have 4 or 5 men push forward to get a goal early. One in the air by Jack Petrina, straight to his teammate Spencer Rouse. Pass back to Jack Petrina, left for Mason Burr. He passes forward to Keegan Rice in the middle of the field. Keegan Rice fighting for possession. Addo Donkor for the Indians wins out and passes back to his teammate. Now all the way back to the center defender, the central defender. Indians still with the ball in possession. Tries to pass forward, but a little too hard and far for his teammate. As Peter Sconzo, the goalkeeper, cleans up for Simsbury. Long kick from the goalkeeper. Giuliano trying to settle it, but Indians pass right to Keegan Rice. Keegan Rice looks to make a pass down the sideline for Sean Gaffney, but he has 3 defenders on him. The Indians win out. Good pass to the middle to number 7 for the Indians. That was Tommy Barrett. Indians still have possession on the sideline. Tommy Barrett leaves the ball for number 6, Mitch Spencer, and he wins a free kick for the Indians. The first foul given today goes against Simsbury. As you can see, this ball is on the 40-yard line of the football field. Goes to the middle of the 18-yard box, gets a flick on, but not much on it. And Peter Sconzo comes out and easily takes care of that attempt. Low line drive kick from Peter Sconzo, one out by the Indians. Tries to make the difficult pass instead of the easy pass to the middle, and Simsbury wins the ball. Then John Flynn gives it right back. Number 19, Brendan Hurley, I believe, for Manchester, tries to center the ball. Addo Donkor trying to get on the end of it. Tommy Barrett looks to pass back. Possession still for Manchester, but it goes out of bounds for a Trojan throw-in. Sean Gaffney gives the ball up to Jack Petrina for a throw-in. Giuliano looks to flick it on, but it goes straight to Manchester. However, Connor Roche tries to give it to Keegan Rice, and he loses possession, but Connor Roche gives it back to Mason Burr. And he gives to Connor Roche on the sideline to Jack Petrina. Back to Connor Roche in the middle. To Keegan Rice in the middle. Through ball, but offside for John Flynn. That was very easy to see as he was on the far sideline right in front of the booth. So the second offsides by Simsbury. But in the end, that's a good sign. That means that the Trojans are trying to get forward, trying to make runs. However, they're just a little off on their timing. The Indians look to pass the ball up to Addo Donkor. But defending there was Jack Petrina, and he kicks it out of bounds. Number 24, Robert Lee Garcia, looks to find one of his teammates in a throw-in. Addo Donkor gives up possession to Simsbury. Keegan Rice with it now in the middle with lots of space. Makes a through ball, beautiful through ball for Spencer Rouse. He looks like he has the speed, and we have a breakaway right here. Puts it on goal, and Spencer Rouse with an easy goal for Simsbury. Finally puts Simsbury on top, 1-0 on the breakaway. Beautiful pass by Keegan Rice. Beautiful through ball right through the defense. As I said before, they're making those runs. Just wasn't timing them right, but on that run they did. Keegan Rice with the assist to Spencer Rouse. And the Simsbury High Trojans go up 1-0 with 30 minutes and 43 seconds in the first half remaining. A couple of subs made by Simsbury. Number 15, Chris Frulla comes into the game. Also another sub, but I didn't happen to catch his number. Number 24 comes in, Steve Moretta. The Indians now will look to even up the score here. Good through ball. Addo Donkor with the ball now, makes a little step over move, passes back to his teammate. Good move again. Good through ball again to try and get on the end of it is one of his teammates right through the middle of the 18-yard box, but can't get a touch on it and put it on goal. Goes over the end line for a Trojan goal kick. That was a little too easy for the Indians. Right after the goal scored by Simsbury, they easily go up the field and almost get a shot on goal. Ball goes straight through the defense. Connor Roche with the goal kick. Keegan Rice with a header on it. Ball bouncing off a couple of heads, settled down by Keegan Rice. Good job of not committing the foul, but given right away by Mason Burr. Giuliano gets a foot on it. However, the Indians keep possession. Keegan Rice finally clears it away for Simsbury. Settled down by the central defender, number 14 for Manchester. That would be Alex Marquis. I do not know how that pronunciation is. I'm just going to go with Alex Marcus. Or Marquise. Chris Frulla putting some pressure on the Indian defense. Easily handled, though. Keegan Rice cuts out the pass again. Now looks to make a pass to Patrick Shea. He's onside. Good step over move there. However, given away by Spencer Rouse. Cut out by Rick Olekna, but loses the ball to the Indian defender. He looks to make a run, shielding the ball, but given away to Connor Roche. Passed ahead, Mason Burr cut it out. Shot taken by the Indians, but goes well wide and left. The Trojans, again, are leading 1-0 early in this game with 28 minutes left in the first half. Out of the 3 games, including this one, this is the 3rd game that we're doing. Out of the games that we have covered, this is definitely the earliest goal that the Simsbury High School Trojans have scored, and this is actually the first lead that they have had. Steve Moretta on defense, putting pressure on the Indian defense. Gets a foot on it, but goes right back. Jack Petrina touches the ball over the end line. for an Indian throw-in. Settled down by number 6 for Manchester. Mitch Spencer still has the ball. Passes out wide to number 15. Looks to cross it into one of his teammates. Cut out by Mason Burr, and he clears the ball away to safety. Indians still with possession, though, trying to pass it forward. Steve Moretta makes a good move. Now looks to find somebody making a run. Chris Frulla tries to make the run. Keegan Rice loses the ball. Mitch Spencer with the ball in the middle. Loses it to Steve Moretta. Indians try and keep it in bounds. They take a throw in right there. Now Mitch Spencer with the ball. Goes around a couple of defenders. Tries to get it to Addo Donkor. Can't do so. Spencer Ralphs with a flying challenge right there. Ends up in a free kick for the Indians. Just about the same place where they had their first free kick. Spencer Ralphs there with a dangerous tackle. Ball goes into the middle of the 18. Mitch Spencer gets on the end of it. Another header off of Addo Donkor. But it goes right into the hands of Peter Sconzo. Good attempt there by the Indians. Great teamwork right there as it goes off the head of Mitch Spencer straight to Addo Donkor. And he puts it on goal, but easily handled by Peter Sconzo for the Trojans. Now Patrick Shea makes a through ball pass, but can't get it through the defense, trying to get it to Steve Moretta, making a run on the sideline. Indians try and get the ball to Addo Donkor, their central striker. Right now, Manchester is playing with a 3-man defense. Looks like they might have a 3-5-2 formation with Mitch Spencer and Addo Donkor up front. Which means 3 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 2 strikers. Chris Frulla wins the ball. And it goes out of bounds for a Simsbury High School throw-in. Simsbury's making a change here. Number 4, Chris Papa comes in for Chris Frulla. And he'll just switch with Chris Frulla at the striker position. The ball goes out of bounds. Steve Moretta will take the throw in. Gets to Spencer Ralphs, who has some pressure by the Indians. Keegan Rice with the ball in the middle. Looks to pass it back to Mason Burr. He gets it out wide to Steve Moretta. Good eyes there by Mason Burr, and it goes out of bounds for a Trojan throw-in. Jack Petrina has a couple of men running up the sideline. Ball goes in. Good flick on to John Flynn right in the middle. Good pass. A little far away from, a little out of the reach for Spencer Ralphs. And it's cut out by the Indians. Jack Petrina now trying to get back on defense. Mitch Spencer all the way back to the midfield to get possession of the ball. Misplayed there a little bit by Rick Olekna, but he plays the spin on the ball, and he's right there. Pass in the middle to Addo Donkor. He keeps possession. Now Mitch Spencer with a little bit of a shot. A chip shot goes in the back of the net. A chip shot outside the 18 goes right over the head of Peter Sconzo. Great shot there by Mitch Spencer of the Indians. Fooling Peter Sconzo. He thought that was going over the crossbar. Thought that didn't have a chance, but it ends up in the goal. And this game is tied up 1-1 with 23 minutes and about 39 seconds left in the first half. Now Simsbury will have to try and go for the lead again in this first half. Try and make some runs up the field as they did to get the first goal. Chris Papa there putting pressure on the ball. One out by John Flynn, through ball, trying to get it to Spencer Ralphs, but it goes all the way back to the Indians goalkeeper. Bad defense there by Simsbury as they didn't step up, and as a result give up the tying goal to the Indians. Mitch Spencer with the goal for the Indians, number 6. Keegan Rice cuts out the ball. Tries to get it up and make a through ball for John Flynn. Cut out by the Indians. Jack Petrina now wins the ball in the midfield. Almost runs into his teammate Keegan Rice. In doing it, Steve Moretta traps the ball, keeps possession of it. Makes a through ball for John Flynn. Trying to settle it down, but can't. And the Indians with good defense there. Some pressure put on by Simsbury, easily dealt with. Simsbury wins the ball in the end. Looking to make a run out the sideline is number 6, Sam Kizavat. Kizavat tries to get it to John Flynn. The Indians there on the defense head it right out of bounds. Kizavat again with the ball, waiting for one of his teammates, Spencer Ralphs, to tie his shoe. Now looks for Spencer Ralphs. John Flynn there wins the ball, has possession. However, cut out. Now Spencer Ralphs with the ball outside the 18. Puts it straight through the goalposts. A little high. Another sub being made by Simsbury here, number 5. Kyle Robbins comes in for Steve Moretta. Oh, excuse me. Yes, for Steve Moretta, number 24. One in the air by Mitch Spencer, the goal scorer for the Indians. John Flynn tries to run through the ball. Settled down by the sub that just came into the game, Kyle Robbins. Centered all the way over to not Kyle Robbins, excuse me, Kizavat, Sam Kizavat. Keegan Rice with possession. Tries to do a little chip shot through ball to Spencer Ralphs, but a little too much onto it. One out by Simsbury. Connor Roche settles. Now Rick Olekno with the ball on the sideline. Tries to give a through ball to Chris Papa. And the defender for the Indians easily touches it over the sideline for a throw-in. Number 2 and number 11 come in for the Trojans now. Number 11 is Piers Lucker. And number 2 is Mike Hessian. Coming in for Chris Papa and John Flynn. Like for like change there, just replacing them at their same positions, giving them a quick breather. Ball cleared away by the Indians. Inside the 18, Connor Roche settles down and gives to Rick Olekna on the far sideline. Kizavat keeps the ball inbounds, still inbounds, gives to the middle to one of the subs that just came in, Pierce Lucker, but he loses out. Keegan Rice cuts the ball out, tries to make a through ball, but goes all the way back to Connor Roche, and Simsbury will reset. Sam Kizavat looks like he touched it out of bounds, but the throw-in will be given to the Trojans. Giuliano and Sean Gaffney come back into the game. Ryan Giuliano and Sean Gaffney replace Spencer Ralphs and also Sam Kizavat. Connor Roche with the ball. Middle of the defense. Good through ball given here to the far sideline. The Indians are in control of the ball. They touch it over this side, over the touchline for a Simsbury throw-in. Piers. That was Piers Lucker who lost the ball over the touchline. Now Addo Donkor with the ball, passes the ball behind his teammate. Sean Gaffney with the ball on the sideline. Giuliano can't get there. Sean Gaffney's pass a little inaccurate. Indians now with possession, and they give the ball away for a Trojan throw-in. Again, the score is all tied up here, 1-1 with 18 minutes to go in the first half. Simsbury scored first in this game, but then later conceded a goal to Mitch Spencer of the Indians. The goal scorer for Simsbury was Spencer Ralphs. Sean Gaffney passes back to Connor Roche. Kind of a dangerous pass there, as he had a defender on him. And an offside given here as Connor Roche tried to give a through ball to his teammate, Mike Hessian. That's the third offsides given to Simsbury. But each time they're only a step or two off. Indians win possession, give all the way back to their central defenders. Looks like Manchester's actually dropped now to a 4-man defense. Cut out by Connor Roche. Settled down by Piers Lucker. Piers Lucker again with the ball. Passes to Keegan Rice in the middle. Giuliano now. Passes out wide to Rick Olekna. Now Sean Gaffney looks to make a run down the sideline. He has a little speed, gets past the first defender. Simsbury still has the ball in the middle. Piers Lucker doesn't go to the ball, and in the end goes back to the Indian goaltender. And he rolls the ball out wide to his teammate. Mitch Spencer, the goal scorer there. Settled down and possessed by Kyle Robbins. Passes back to Jack Petrina, and he passes back to Peter Sconzo, and he'll look to clear it. He does. One out and settled down by the Indians in the midfield. Good possession shown right there by Nate Daly of the Indians. Now Simsbury with the ball, cut out by Addo Donkor. Addo Donkor making a run to the sideline, but can't get there before it goes over the touchline, resulting in a Trojan throw-in. Jack Petrina looks to find one of his teammates. Throws it in. Ball bouncing back and forth. Mitch Spencer now with the ball. Loses out to Keegan Rice. Pass forward to Piers Lucker. Giuliano now with the ball. Gets around the first defender. Tries to pass up. But his teammate's not looking behind to see what's happening. Giuliano wins the ball again. Keegan Rice now. Again, trying to make another through ball in the air. Right now, Simsbury's getting a little caught up in trying to make runs up the field and trying to get a lot of through balls. Indians with possession. Keegan Rice putting some pressure. Mason Burr takes a step up. Addo Donkor with the ball now. 3 defenders on him. Giuliano wins the ball away from the Indian forward. Shields the ball very nicely. Now passes back. Almost cut out by Mitch Spencer. Sean Gaffney now gives out wide to Rick Olekna. Olekna still with the ball on the sideline. A give and go there that ends up being well defended by the Indians. Mitch Spencer now with the ball on the sideline, cut out by Connor Roche. And it goes out of bounds for an Indian throw-in. Number 18 and number 24 come in. Number 24 is Robert Lee Garcia for the Indians. And number 18 is Jake Garlitz coming in for Addo Donkor and Matt Barney. Simsbury defends and clears. However, the Indians win possession right back. Sean Gaffney, has possession, making a run up to the midfield, and gives the ball up to the Indians. Collision there in the middle ends up with the ball is Keegan Rice. Sean Gaffney looks to get the ball forward. Giuliano now with the ball, making a through ball pass, but nobody is on the end of the ball as the Indians get possession on the sideline. And wise play as number 8 for the Indians, Matt Wood, touches it over the end line. Excuse me, that was number 6. Mitch. No, that's not number 6. That is number 8. I had it right the first time. Matt Wood. Keegan Rice throws the ball into the middle of the 18-yard box. Giuliano now there in defense. Wins possession, but it goes out of bounds off an Indian defender for a Simsbury throw-in. Jack Petrina now out of bounds off an Indian defender again. Kyle Robbins throws it in to to Patrick Shea. Giuliano fighting for possession. Gets it, but gives it up right away to the Indian defender. Ball cleared away and out of danger by the Indians. Mason Burr now with the ball. Gets the ball in the air. Good trap by Kyle Robbins. Giuliano now with possession. Tries to give back to Kyle Robbins, but still has the ball. Patrick Shea now offsides for Simsbury. If he would have left that ball for Giuliano, they might have had another breakaway for another goal. One out of the air by the Indians, but Mason Burr clears back to midfield. Mitch Spencer, the goal scorer for Manchester, kicks it off of Keegan Rice straight to Patrick Shea. Through ball given to Patrick Shea, who's onside this time. He has the ball on the sideline, looks to make a cutback. Gives the ball back to number 22, who's John Pulley, all the way over to Jack Petrina from Sean Gaffney. He centers the ball to Patrick Shea off the shoulder of an Indian defender to the goalkeeper for Manchester. Sean Gaffney with the ball, heads it out wide to Rick Olekna, passes back to Connor Roche. Now Connor Roche gives it in the middle, trying to get it to Patrick Shea, but headed away by the Indians. Jack Petrina. Good shield there by Sean Gaffney to let the ball roll. And now John Pulley trying to make a run, but easily defended by number 14, Alex Marquise of the Indians. Sub made now by the Indians. Number 16 returns to the game for the Indians. Patrick Shea loses out to the Indian defender, and he's still making a run. Gives to the middle to Mitch Spencer, and Mitch Spencer skies the ball straight to Connor Roche. Probably should have settled there. Should have Mitch Spencer, but they still have possession of the ball. Won again by Mitch Spencer. Tries a step over move. It goes out of bounds off Mitch Spencer. Keegan Rice taking a quick throw in to Sean Gaffney, and it goes off of Sean Gaffney for an Indian throw-in. A couple of subs being made here, a couple for the Indians. Spencer Ralph's coming back into the game for John Pulley. This is the first appearance for number 4 for Manchester. That would be Brooklyn Ramsdell. And number 20. Number 20 is Danny Sykand. Patrick Shea passes all the way across the field to Kyle Robbins. Robbins gives the ball up to the Indian defense. All the way to Mitch Spencer, but cut out by Rick Olekna as he steps up, and it goes out of bounds for a Trojan throw-in. Keegan Rice will take the throw-in. Throws it into the middle to Mason Burr, who gives up the ball. Indians looking to make a run. Pardon me. Keegan Rice cuts it out. Giuliano now with the ball. Gets it up to Patrick Shea. Good shielding of the ball. Good communication there by Simsbury. Now a run here by Spencer Ralphs, who had the first goal on a breakaway. Can't get on the end of this one as the defender is right there. Good defense there by number 14, Alex Marquise. And speed there by Alex Marquise to win the ball away from Spencer Ralphs, who scored the first goal for Simsbury on a breakaway. The ball given away by Jack Petrino as he looks to center it to Patrick Shea in the middle of the 18. John Flynn returning to the game for Simsbury. And Kyle Robbins comes out of the game for Simsbury. A couple of subs made for Manchester as well. Goal kick is settled down by John Flynn. Looks to make a pass now. Cut out by the goal kick taker, number 15, who also is playing good defense tonight. Connor Roche with the ball. Tries to give it wide to Patrick Shea, who is onside. Now he looks to settle it down. And it goes out of bounds for an Indian throw-in. Cut out by Giuliano in the middle. Makes a move. Tries to make another. And if he made that move, would have had an open shot on goal. Cut out now by Keegan Rice on the sideline. Cuts it back, puts it in the middle now. Misplay. Oh, and Spencer Ralphs almost has his second goal as the deflection comes off the defender in the middle. Got a touch on it, but it went a little wide left. Good attempt there by Spencer Ralphs. Not an easy attempt to make there as it comes off the defender, deflects. Spencer Ralphs gets a foot on it anyways, but it goes a little bit wide. Now David Sparks enters the game, replacing Sean Gaffney on the far sideline. Dylan Churko, the captain for Manchester, takes the goal kick. However, the Simsbury has possession on the sideline again, gives in the middle of Spencer Ralphs. Back to Giuliano. Connor Roche now tries to chip the ball over the defense. Spencer Ralphs is there. Or Patrick Shea, excuse me. Now Spencer Ralphs has the ball, but it deflects off him to the defense. Rick Alekna has it go off the Indian defender for a Simsbury throw-in. Patrick Shea settles the ball, passes in the middle to Giuliano. Ryan Giuliano gives back to Rick Alekna. He tries to get in the middle of Patrick Shea, but cut out by the central defender, Dylan Churko. Throw-in called here for Simsbury. Right at midfield, Jack Petrina throws it into Patrick Shea. Tries to settle it for John Flynn. Now Giuliano with the ball. Gives back to Connor Roche. Good play there by Giuliano. Oh, and that would have been a breakaway on goal if that ball would have gone through, that through ball by Connor Roche. Simsbury still with possession. Good run here by John Flynn. He's going to get on the end of it. And it goes wide. John Flynn with a breakaway. I thought the goalkeeper might have had a little deflection on that, but the ref didn't see that. It'll go out for a goal kick. And it goes off the post for John Flynn. Some of the fans think it deflected off the goalie as well. But in the end, a goal kick for Manchester. Good attempt there by John Flynn, as he had a wide open shot on goal. Simsbury is getting their shots on goal this game, and some good runs. Another run here by Patrick Shea. He comes in, and he puts it in the back of the net. Easy for Patrick Shea as they get through the defense again. And the Simsbury Trojans go up 2-1 over the Manchester Indians with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Great through ball. And that is how Simsbury is scoring in this game thus far. Making runs, getting past the defense with through balls. And they're having wide open shots and breakaways on goal. Nothing that the Indian goalkeeper could do on that. All Spencer Ralphs had to do was take his time right at about the penalty area, the 18-yard box, pick his spot, pick a side, and he just easily put it in the side of the net as the goalkeeper came out. So Patrick Shea puts the Trojans up 2-1 with just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Otto Dakor loses the ball over the end line for a Simsbury goal kick. So it looks like if Simsbury keeps possession here and plays smart, they'll come away with the lead in the first half of this game. They desperately need this as they haven't had a win in quite some time. The first game we did, they had a record of 2-1-1, and now they're 2-3-3. So they haven't had a win in quite a while. Indians try and get the ball to some of their teammates. Patrick Shea heads it out of bounds. Again for an Indian throw-in. Another Indian throw-in on the sideline. Tries to pick out his teammate. He does to Mitch Spencer, the goal scorer for Manchester. One out by Connor Roche and cleared away. Settled down by Manchester at the midfield. Giuliano now settles the ball. Good touch there off his chest. Cut out by Manchester. All the way back to Connor Roche, and he clears up. Spencer Ralphs now with the ball. Patrick Shea making a run there. Probably could have had another breakaway if Spencer Ralphs saw him. Johnny Flynn now. The ball on the sideline. Goes down a little easily there, but gets the call for Simsbury. Free kick awarded. Probably a little bit of a flop there, but he gets the call for Simsbury. Connor Roche will try and put this ball almost all the way up the field. And he does. Probably a little too far for Patrick Shea. Goalkeeper comes out for Manchester and easily handles it. Given up to Spencer Ralphs, though, on the sideline. And it's touched out of bounds by the Indian defender. Good job there by Spencer Ralphs, putting some pressure on the defense, and is rewarded with a throw-in. Now Keegan Rice will take a long throw-in here to try and see if Simsbury can get another goal before the half. Long throw-in. Deflects off of John Flynn. Patrick Shea gets a little touch on it, but it goes straight into the arms of the Manchester goalkeeper, Patrick Muckler, who's the goalkeeper for Manchester. Mitch Spencer now with the ball for Manchester. Has nobody in front of him. Cut out by Keegan. One away. Spencer Ralphs calling for the ball. And taken out from behind is Keegan Rice by Mitch Spencer. Free kick awarded to Simsbury here, right on the touchline, the far touchline. Connor Roche will take this free kick, try and put it right in the middle to Patrick Shea. Spencer Ralphs is right there, but a free kick awarded to the Indians. I don't know if one of the players was offside or if that was just given because of physical play or something, but in the end, a free kick awarded to the Indians. Keegan Rice gets ahead on the ball for Simsbury. Settled down, headed over to one of his teammates. And that is the first half for Simsbury. And this is the first lead that they have had at the half out of the games that we've done so far. Simsbury, the Trojans, lead with a score of 2-1 over the Manchester Indians. Just about to get underway here now in the second half between the Simsbury High School Trojans and the Manchester High School Indians. The Trojans lead with a score of 2-1 as they switch sides. Goal scorers for Simsbury have been Spencer Ralphs and I actually forget who the second goal scorer was. Oh, Patrick Shea, as he broke away from the defense. The goal scorer for Manchester was Mitch Spencer. The team's now taking the field. Patrick Shea now with 2 goals in the last 2 games that we've done. As a result, well, last game against Conrad, he was playing in a defensive, Conard, excuse me, I keep saying Conrad, it's actually Conard. He was playing a defensive position, defensive winger, now he's actually up front. And it looks like it's paying off as he scored here in the game. It was an easy goal as he broke away from the defense to put Simsbury up 2-1. Simsbury originally took the lead at a score of 1-0 with just about 2 minutes into the game they scored, something like that. But then they conceded 4 or 5 minutes later to Mitch Spencer and didn't score the second goal to go up 2-1 until about 4 minutes to go in the first half. And that was scored by Patrick Shea. First goal scored by Spencer Ralphs of Simsbury. The Indians and Trojans are now on the field ready to start the second half. Mitch Spencer and number 18 for the Indians, Jack Garlitz, takes the center kick, passes all the way back to his defender. Given away to Rick Olekna, pass back to Connor Roche. John Flynn with the ball on the sideline. Passes it to the middle, but can't find Spencer Ralphs. Calling for the ball up front, but cut out by Simsbury. Spencer Ralphs gives it away. Patrick Shea wins it back in the middle, passes back to Jack Petrina, but it deflects off the Manchester defender, back to Sean Gaffney. Given in the middle to Ryan Giuliano. And he passes back to Mason Burr, passed out wide on a one-touch to Connor Roche. Rick Olekna with a good move, shielding off the defender to the sideline. Passed up the sideline, trying to get Spencer Ralphs there on the end of it. Wisely touched over the touchline for number 14, by number 14 for the Manchester Indians, Alex Marquise. John Flynn taking the throw in. Spencer Ralphs wide open right there in the middle, settles it down, makes a move past the defender, looks to take a shot, deflected off an Indian defender. Simsbury still has the ball in the middle of the field, goes off the post and straight into the goalkeeper's hands for the Indians, Patrick Mockler. Mockler clears the ball, headed on by Mitch Spencer. Spencer Ralphs for Simsbury settles the ball, now given out wide all the way to Rick Olekna. John Flynn now with the ball on the sideline, passes back to Olekna. Addo Donkor taken down by Rick Olekna and a free kick given there for the Indians. Not much Olekna could do as he just stumbled over the feet of Addo Donkor. Number 9 passes the ball back, but actually that was not a pass. Free kick taken now by number 17 up the sideline here for the Indians. He looks to center the ball off, and it goes off of Keegan Rice. Oh, almost a handball there. And the ball falls to the feet of Mitch Spencer, and he knows what to do with it. Puts it in the side of the net past Peter Sconzo to tie up the game once again. Mitch Spencer coming up big for the Indians in this game, getting goals to tie up the game both times that he scored. The first time to tie the game 1-1, and now it's tied up again 2-2 with about 37.5 minutes to go in the second half. About 2.5 minutes in the second half gone, and the game's tied up again. Sean Gaffney trying to get on the end of the pass from Simsbury, but it goes out of bounds for an Indian throw-in. Kind of a little bad luck there for Simsbury as it deflects off of Keegan Rice and goes and finds the feet of Mitch Spencer. He settled and put it into the back of the net. Free kick taken. Header by Jack Petrina goes to Sean Gaffney, but Mitch Spencer tries to take a shot now. Tries the kind of a shot that his first shot was, and it went in the back of the net, which was a chip shot. But that chip shot goes a little high and right. Connor Roche taking the goal kick for Simsbury. Ball goes back and forth between teams. Now Sean Gaffney wins possession, tries to keep possession, wards off the defender with a little bit of an extension of the arm. Still has the ball on the sidelines. Deflects off an Indian defender for a Simsbury corner kick. The second of the game for Simsbury. They had one in the first half. However, there wasn't anybody for Simsbury that could get ahead on it. Spencer Ralph's taking the corner kick here. Patrick Shea in the middle. Giuliano right in front of the goalkeeper. It's a short goal kick to Jack Petrina. Corner kick, excuse me. Giuliano tries to get on the end of it, but it's touched out of bounds for a Simsbury throw-in. Spencer Ralphs still has the ball just outside the 18, gets it, and tries to pass it in the middle, but deflects off an Indian player. Cut out by Rick Olekna. He gives out wide to John Flynn, who settles it down right on the touchline. Goes through the legs of the defender with a little pull of the ball, but can't keep possession. Now Rick Olekna with the ball off his shoulder. Passes to nobody on his team. Goes to Mitch Spencer, who has 2 goals for Manchester. All the way out wide for Manchester. Churko now with the ball. Gives in the middle to Mitch Spencer. Cut out by Connor Roche, but runs into his own teammate. Now the ball given to Addo Donkor, who tries to make a run, but Connor Roche is right there. And it goes out of bounds over the end line for a Trojan goal kick. Simsbury now looking to gain the lead again as it's tied up 2-2 here. Just under 35 minutes here in the second half. Keegan Rice with a little flick on to Patrick Shea. Sean Gaffney there as well. A little collision there with the defender, and Patrick Shea commits the foul on the Manchester defender, who is down right now. And he says he's okay as he gets up slowly. That was number 14 for Manchester, Alex Marquise. Alex Marquise and Churko's first name is Dylan, are the 2 central defenders for the Indians. Manchester gives up possession. Patrick Shea now with the ball. Tries to get it to Giuliano on the sideline. But it goes out for a Trojan throw-in. John Flynn gives the ball up for Rick Olekna. Olekna tries to pick out Giuliano, and it again goes out of bounds for a Simsbury throw-in. So Rick Olekna will try again. He gives it right to John Flynn, who's wide open. Makes a little cut, a back heel. Rick Olekna with the ball on the sideline. Tries to get it to Patrick Shea in the middle, but headed away to safety by Manchester. Settled down by Rick Olekna. Gives to Connor Roche. Errant pass there to Keegan Rice, and now Manchester has the ball looking to make a run. Cut out by Connor Roche. And stepped on by Manchester, and a free kick given to Simsbury. Connor Roche will take this free kick. Take it fairly quick as he's trying to look for Sean Gaffney. Gaffney flicks it on to Patrick Shea, but Patrick Shea had made a run to the sideline. Now Mason Burr misplays the ball, and Manchester keeps possession. But Burr comes across, Keegan Rice comes across the field with some speed. However, good advantage played there by the ref until there was no advantage for Manchester, and he calls back the play for a free kick for Manchester. Ball on the 25-yard line of the football field, just about halfway between the goal and midfield. This free kick will go right into the middle of the 18-yard box, off the head. Good free kick there, taken by number 9 from Manchester, Nate Daly, and he picks out his teammate really well, puts it right on his head for Tommy Barrett, excuse me, but he headed it a little wide. Settled down by Giuliano right on the midfield line. Gives out wide to Sean Gaffney. Tried to flick it on over to Jack Petrina. Now Jack Petrina having to get back on defense. However, misplayed by Manchester, and now Simsbury has possession again. Giuliano now with a pass from Spencer Rouse. Tries to get on the end of it. Has some speed. Wins the ball on the sideline. Keeps it in bounds. And it goes out of bounds off an Indian defender for a Simsbury throw-in. Giuliano gets it into Patrick Shea, who makes a little move. Tries to get it in over the defender to John Flynn, but cannot do so as it's headed away. Now Keegan Rice with the ball in the midfield. Gives it up to Mitch Spencer. Tries to get it up to Otto Donkor, but cut out by Connor Roche. Good defense there. Keegan Rice now with the ball. However, cut out now Otto Donkor for Manchester. Passes straight to Spencer Rouse of Simsbury. Spencer Rouse tries to get past two defenders. Not very wise there, as he probably should have looked for a teammate. He had nobody up there with him. But it goes out for a Simsbury throw-in. Rick Olegna throws it right over the head of Spencer Rouse. Misplayed by Connor Roche, but Mason Burrs right there gives it Giuliano, who loses out. Patrick Shea now gives out wide. He has good vision there, Patrick Shea, as he gives out wide to Jack Petrina. Now Patrick Shea now with a run here. He's onside. But the goalkeeper wisely comes off his line and gets to the ball first. Keegan Rice gives out wide. Connor Roche can't settle it, but Otto Donkor touches it out of bounds. John Flynn now with the ball. Goes through the legs of Otto Donkor, but still Donkor wins the ball. Now tries too much of a finesse pass to his teammate in the middle, who had one defender on her. Jake Garlitz couldn't get on the end there. Ball goes all the way up the field to the central defender. He almost misplays the ball, but gets it out wide to his teammate, number 17. John Flynn putting some pressure on the defense. And as a result, Rick Olekna ends up with the ball. He passes to the middle to Patrick Shea. Good move right there. But he passes it straight to the Manchester defender. Cut out by Keegan, but it goes again to Manchester. Mitch Spencer now with the ball for Manchester. The goal scorer gives out wide. Manchester now looks to get it into the middle, but cut out by the goalkeeper, Peter Sconzo. Sconzo looks to pick out one of his teammates. Looks like Giuliano here. It goes over his head. Cleared up the field by Manchester straight to Mitch Spencer, who has 2 goals in this game. Is trying to get a hat trick here, and also the win. And a foul committed by Manchester, number 9. That would be Nate Daly. Connor Roche will take the free kick on the touchline. Oba slips here, and it goes straight to Mitch Spencer. Manchester tried to get something going there, and a free kick awarded to Manchester as a result of the slip there by Connor Roche on the free kick. And now Manchester has a free kick on the 20-yard line, which is just about 11, 12 yards outside the 18-yard box. This is a good spot here for a right-footed kicker to try an in-swinger onto the net for a shot on goal, but it looks like they might be trying to run a specific play here. But they do try it on goal, and it's blocked away. Great save by Peter Sconzo as that ball was going into the top left corner of the goal. Great shot there by the Manchester player, number 15, the central defender for Manchester, Dylan Churko. He puts it on net, but a good parry away by Peter Sconzo for Simsbury. However, it ends up in a corner kick for Manchester. I believe this is their first corner kick of the game. I could be wrong, however. Cut out by Peter Sconzo, the goalkeeper. Bad corner kick taken there by Manchester. Now Sconzo, after that great save to keep the game tied 2-2 with 26 minutes to go, just under 27 minutes, to go in the game. And a handball called now as it goes off of Spencer Ralphs. As you can see, that gave him an unfair advantage there as it went off his hand and laid right at his feet. Now Giuliano with the ball almost gets by the last defender for a breakaway. However, ends up losing the ball to Manchester. They have it on the sideline now. Manchester's looking increasingly dangerous in the second half as they tied up the game right at the start of the second half. Now they've had a few shots on goal. The ball deflects off a couple of people and ends up in Peter Sconzo's hand for Simsbury. He's looking for Sean Gaffney, who has it go over his head. But all the way back to Jack Petrina. He gives out wide to Giuliano, who has it go off a Manchester defender out of bounds. Jack Petrina gives out wide for Sean Gaffney, who's making a run up the sideline. However, cut out and cleared away by Dylan Churko. Jack Petrina is looking for Giuliano. Sean Gaffney gives to Spencer Ralphs, who steps on the ball and loses it to Manchester. However, Jack Petrina gets it to Sean Gaffney. Good give and go here to Giuliano on the sideline. He looks to cross it inbound into the middle of the 18-yard box. However, good defense by Manchester. By Dylan Churko, I believe, again. Excuse me, that was actually number 24 there. Robert Lee Garcia. Headed forward by Rick Olekna as he won the ball in the air. Connor Roche probably should have settled that ball as he had plenty of time. No one on him. Mitch Spencer now with the ball in the midfield. Now John Flynn, actually Rick Olekna, settles the ball down. And he touches it over the end line for a free kick, for a throw-in, rather. Had John Flynn up the sideline a little bit, but his touch fails him in the end. Addo Donkor now settles the ball off his chest, looks to get it into the middle. A little miskick there by Mason Burr, but Addo Donkor helps him out for Manchester as he heads it out of bounds. Probably should have just let that one go for a throw-in. A couple of subs coming in now for Simsbury. Number 24, Steve Moretta, returns to the game. John Flynn and Sean Gaffney come out. And number 6, Chris Frulla, or actually, Sam Kizavat comes into the game for Simsbury. Flicked on by Kizavat to Patrick Shea, and Shea gets it to Giuliano. But he has a player, Spencer Ralphs, about 3 to 4 feet off sides. Free kick now by Manchester. Wisely crossed to the middle. Giuliano cuts out the pass back to his defender. Spencer Ralphs now with the ball in the middle. Has Kizavat making a run up the sideline, and he's going to get on the end of this pass. Now let's see what he can do with it. Passes back to Spencer Ralphs, who loses out in the end, but Patrick Shea keeps possession, shields the ball well, but loses out to Manchester. Now Rick Olekna with the ball, passes back to Mason Burr, who misplays the ball again. And Manchester shields it and has possession now, trying to give to the middle to Mitch Spencer. Mason Burr settles though. That time he gets a good touch on it and clears it away. Addo Donkor now with the ball for Manchester on the sideline. Rick Olekna's right there to touch it over the touchline for an Indian throw-in. Ball centered and headed away by Connor Roche. Settled down by Spencer, but he plays with it a little bit and almost plays himself into a position where he could have given up the ball. Patrick Shea putting some pressure on the defender. Keegan Rice ends up with the ball. Spencer Rouse passes back to Rick Olekna, but nobody's making a run there for Simsbury. Now Kizavat is right there, and it goes off of his thigh out of bounds for an Indian throw-in. Simsbury still looking to make a lot of through balls through the defense. It's worked twice in this game and a couple of other times, but those runs have not materialized into goals. But that is how they have scored goals, is by through balls. And now Patrick Shea makes another one, and he's going to get on the end of this one. Can he get it on goal? No. Shoots it wide left. Can't get right on top of the ball and direct it to his right. He may have had time to settle that one, make one move on the defender, cut it back, and have an open shot on goal. However, that comes with experience. The more and more he plays, the more he'll be able to realize his situation. But good attempt there by Patrick Shea, just can't get it on goal. He makes a through ball now to Spencer Rouse, who's going to get on the end of this one. It goes on goal and off the crossbar for Spencer Rouse. Off the crossbar. That attempt could have given Simsbury the lead. However, it's cleared away by Manchester, and Simsbury will have a corner kick. Their third of the game. Great attempt there by Spencer Rouse. Again, Simsbury's making a lot of runs through the middle with the through balls. Headed away by Manchester as it goes into the middle. Connor Roche wins a corner kick for Simsbury as he's jockeying there with the defender, and it looks like Spencer Rouse will come out and take the corner kick again. This time it will be an in-swinger for Spencer Rouse, as he is a righty. Takes kicks with his right foot, as he took that last shot with the right foot that went off the crossbar. This one goes a little long over the head of everybody, and Patrick Shea will keep it in bounds, and he passes back to Jack Petrina, who misplays it, and it goes out of bounds off an Indian. It will stay with the Trojans. Patrick Shea flicks the ball over the head of a defender, but can't settle it down. Good attempt there. And now Mason Burr again misplays the ball, but comes back and cuts it out. Makes up for his mistake. But Manchester still has possession of the ball. Addo Donkor now looks to make a run against Jack Petrina on the sideline, but Jack gets taken out from behind by Addo Donkor for Manchester, and it will result in a foul called and free kick for the Simsbury Trojans. Again, the score is tied 2-2 here at Simsbury High School with 19 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second half. Simsbury desperately needs to try and get a win here with a record of 2-3-3. Manchester with a record of 3-5-0. Both teams need a win. Simsbury twice has had the lead and twice has seen it get taken away from them and tied up by 2 goals from Mitch Spencer. One in the first half, one in the second. The ball goes over the touchline for a Simsbury throw-in. Rick Olekna tries to get the ball up to Sam Kizavat, who tries to flick it on. Connor Roche now with the header. Kizavat flicks the ball on forward. Spencer Rouse can't get a foot on it, but it goes out of bounds. And Rick Olekna will look to find his teammates. Sam Kizavat. Again, it goes out of bounds for an Indian throw-in. Rick Olekna throws it straight to a Manchester defender, but Kyle Robbins ends up with the ball. It gets taken out. However, no call. But he wins the ball again in the midfield. Now Sam Kizavat with the ball. Makes a through ball here for Kyle Robbins, who has a little bit of a hitch and is giddy up due to that brace on his knee. And the spin of the ball almost keeps it in bound, but rolls just over the end line for another Simsbury corner kick. We saw a lot of corner kicks in the last game for Simsbury. And now I believe this is either a 5th or 6th corner kick. No, I believe this is 6th corner kick for Simsbury. Kyle Robbins puts it in the middle of the field, a little far out wide, a little far out at the top of the 18-yard box. So Simsbury can't do much with it. Goes all the way back to Mason Burr. Looks to clear it up the field, cut out by Manchester. Addo Donkor tries a little move by letting the ball run past the defender, but can't get on the end of it. Peter Sconzo comes out of his goal and clears it up the field. Now Keegan Rice will probably look to make a through ball again to Patrick Shea, but cut out in the end. Good play by Mason Burr to get the ball to Keegan Rice, but he loses out to Mitch Spencer, the goal scorer for Manchester. Ball is still in bounds as Manchester tries to get on the end of it and wisely lets it go out for a goal kick. Now 2 players for Manchester coming to the game, number 22 and number 8 for Manchester. Number 8 is returning to the game, actually. That's Matt Wood. He played a little bit in the first half. And number 22 comes into the game, and that would be, excuse me for this pronunciation, I'll try and pronounce it as well as I can, Echo Ando, I believe. Keegan Rice jockeying for the ball. One out by Kyle Robbins, and he wins a free kick there in the middle of the field, right on the 45-yard line for Simsbury. Connor Roche will take the free kick, and he'll try and put it somewhere in the 18-yard box. Patrick Shea making a run. Looks like Simsbury's trying to play the clearance here. Kyle Robbins off his chest. One away by Manchester. Manchester passes back, keep possession of the ball. Jack Petrino with the head. Mason Burr heads it forward to his teammate Kyle Robbins, given out wide to Steve Moretta. Keegan Rice gives the ball up to Manchester. And now wide open spaces for Manchester as they make a run up the field. Cut out a little step over move, little spin move. But Keegan Rice comes away with the ball. And he gives a beautiful through ball to Spencer Ralphs here, who makes a good cut. Now we'll try and make another cut. Looks to take a shot. Oh, another cut back, but he can't get by the defender again. Tried to make one too many cuts as he tried to get on his favorite foot. His right foot. As evidently he can't put much on the ball with his left foot. Doesn't trust it. As he tried to make 3 cuts there to get it back onto his right foot and a shot on goal. Kyle Robbins now with the ball in the middle of the field. Gets it back to Keegan Rice. Keegan Rice keeps possession of the ball. Connor Rose passes forward to Patrick Shea. Patrick Shea keeps possession. Now we have a call here. And a stoppage of the clock for an injured player. That would be Addo Donkor for Manchester down on the field. Right on the sideline in front of the Manchester bench. Didn't happen to see what happened, but he comes off the field and is replaced by number 3 for Manchester. That would be Miles Hurley. And now as a show of sportsmanship, Mitch Spencer will clear the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper for Simsbury. Peter Sconzo is trying to look for Sam Kizavat. Now Keegan Rice settles. Mitch Spencer shields the ball. Kyle Robbins wins the ball out in the end and is taken down from behind by Mitch Spencer. Tried his best there, Mitch Spencer. Kept it alive for a while, but ends up committing the foul in the end. Connor Roche will put this ball into the middle of the 18. As the Simsbury forwards actually passes it out wide to Steve Moretta, who has it touched out of bounds by his defender. Moretta takes the throw in, gets it in the middle, all the way, almost gets on the end of it. There is Sam Kizavat. But Patrick Mockler, goalkeeper for Manchester, wins out in the end. Mitch Spencer looks to pass the ball, or center the ball for Manchester. Keegan Rice cuts the ball out, passed out wide to Rick Olekna. Pass back to Rick Olekna. But he passes straight to Mitch Spencer. But Spencer loses the ball over the touchline for a Simsbury throw-in. Rick Olekna looks to get a flick on by Sam Kizavat. Mason Burr has a deflect off Connor Roche straight to Keegan Rice. Keegan Rice tries to make a through ball here to Chris Frilla. Cut out by Churko, though, of Manchester. Dylan Churko, the captain for the Manchester Indians. And now Steve Moretta makes a run up the sideline and kicks it off of the Manchester defender out of bounds. Once again, the score is still tied here, 2-2, with 12 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the second half, or in the game, actually. Steve Moretta looks to get a shot on goal. Still has the ball, tries another shot, but again off the defender. And Chris Frilla puts it way over the crossbar and wide left. Both teams desperate for a win here. Again, as Simsbury's 2-3-3. That's 2 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties. And the Manchester Indians have 3 wins and 5 losses. Many subs, too many subs right now to start naming off the names for Simsbury and Manchester. About 5 subs for Simsbury and 2 for Manchester. Goal kick taken by Manchester. 1 out by Spencer Ralphs. Patrick Shea now in the front, wins the ball. Makes a little flick to Sean Gaffney, who gets away but can't keep the ball at his feet for a shot on goal. Mockler gives the ball to his defender on the sideline, who in the end loses it for a Simsbury throw-in. Sean Gaffney loses the ball. Jack Moretta cuts it out. Giuliano right there gets a touch on it, but cleared away for Addo Donkor, who has returned to the game, who was the injured player from Manchester a few minutes ago. Mitch Spencer still has possession of the ball, gives out wide. Now Addo Donkor has the ball deflect off of Mason Burr for Manchester's second corner kick of the game. Addo Donkor and Mitch Spencer are right there at the top of the 18, number 12 and number 6. Number 6, Mitch Spencer, is the goal scorer for Manchester. He has both goals for Manchester. Again, as the score is tied 2-2 here. He has tied it up twice in this game. Now he makes a spin move there, tries to get on the end of it, but Patrick Shea is right there and gets a good head on it. And a good head there by Keegan Rice to clear it away. Weak ball there. Patrick Shea gets it back to Rick Olekna. Olekna gets it out wide to John Flynn. And now here's Sean Gaffney trying to make a run. Gets on the end of it. And Keegan Rice can't get there to continue the run from Sean Gaffney. If Sean Gaffney could have gotten his head on a little touch from his head on that pass right there, could have had a wide open breakaway on goal. Keegan Rice makes a good move around his defender on the sideline. Gets in the middle of Patrick Shea, but a little behind him, and Patrick Shea can't get a touch on it as he was wide open in the middle there to put it on goal. Keegan Rice will take the throw in now, and he'll try and get it to Patrick Shea or Spencer Gaffney here in the middle of the 18-yard box. He's a specialist for long throw-ins. Gets it in there, goes off of Spencer Ralph's head. Keegan Rice settles the ball down. However, cleared away by the Indians. So Keegan Rice will try it again. He'll try another long throw in here, looking for Spencer Ralphs or Patrick Shea. However, headed away by the defender. Giuliano gets up high. Bounced around here. Patrick Shea gets a head on the ball. Bouncing around. Giuliano. John Flynn tried to get a run and get a shot on it, but the defender gets a touch on it. Clears it away. Now Rick Olekna gets it out wide. Tries to get it to John Flynn. Kept in bounds by an Indian. And Addo Donkor tries to go through the legs of the defender, but Rick Olekna plays it well. John Flynn now with the ball. Straight up to Spencer Ralphs, who again has his second handball of the game, as it gave him advantage. He stopped the ball and it fell right at his feet. He didn't play it with his hand, but it hit his arm, which is still a handball if it gives an unfair advantage. Addo Doncourt now with the ball, tries to turn and fire. Is blocked away by the defender. Mitch Spencer now with the ball, passes back. Manchester keeping possession of the ball, passing back. It goes out of bounds for an Indian throw-in. The Indians are making a sub here. Number 16, Andrew Hurd, comes in for number 9, Nate Daly. And Andrew Hurd here will try and make a throw-in. Looks like he's trying to get it to one of his teammates in the middle. He gets it through, but it's touched out of bounds over the end line off an Indian, and it will be a Trojan goal kick. Just about 6.5 minutes left in the remainder of this game. Again, the score is still tied 2-2. Both teams looking to get a win here, as they both have a losing record by 1 game. Manchester has no ties, though. Simsbury has 3. So evidently Manchester is very good at getting decisions, whether it be wins or losses. Actually, excuse me, correction here. Manchester is 2 games behind in the loss column. They have a record of 3-5. Addo Doncourt tries to get a shot on goal, but a very weak one. However, Jack Petrina clears it off his own guy, Connor Roche, and it goes over the touchline for an Indian throw-in. Mitch Spencer steps on the ball. Keegan Rice tries to get it out wide to his teammate John Flynn. Trying a chip shot here is Manchester, but easily taken care of by goalkeeper Peter Sconzo. Spencer Rouse runs over a Manchester player, but no call there. Giuliano doesn't go in 100% and loses out in the end. Sean Gaffney tries to go in 100%, but mistimes it a little bit. There's Steve Moretta making a run up the sideline, gets past 2 defenders, still has the ball, looks to center to Patrick Shea, but is cleared away by Manchester. Actually, that was Mason Burr, excuse me, from Simsbury that made that run up the sideline. Good run by Mason Burr. He hasn't had a great game this game. Normally he's very solid back there at defense. He's had a couple of misplays on the ball, but it happens. Everybody has their bad games. Corner kick here taken by Spencer Rouse, almost volleyed by Connor Roche as he comes up all the way from defense. John Flynn still with the ball, tries to take a shot on goal here from outside the 18, but easily corralled there by Mockler, the goalkeeper for for Manchester, excuse me. Patrick Shea tries to get around the last defender, passes to Giuliano. Giuliano has a little bit of space. Now he has a defender on him. Gives it out wide to Jack Petrina. Petrina gets it out wide to Sean Gaffney, co-captain. Gaffney gives it too strong of a touch, but he keeps it in bounds. Tries to make a move on the defender, and it goes out of bounds for a Trojan throw-in. 2-2 here with almost 3.5 minutes remaining in the game. Ball bounces around to Patrick Shea, and he puts it in the back of the net. Actually, excuse me, that was Keegan Rice as he gets his left foot on it and puts it in the back of the net. That may be the deciding goal here for Simsbury as they go up by a goal, 3-2. The ball bounced around in the 18, and Keegan Rice gets on the end of it to give Simsbury yet again the lead at 3-2 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the game. Now Simsbury would desperately defend here as they need this win to bring their record to 3-3 and even 3 across the board as Keegan Rice gets on the score sheet. Now Manchester will frantically push this ball, trying to get, again, a tying goal. They'll probably look to Mitch Spencer, who has both goals, and will try and get a third one. Patrick Shea putting some pressure on here. What will they do? Easily called off by goalkeeper Mockler. and handled by Mockler. Good communication there. Cut out by Rick Olekna on the sideline. Wise decision there by John Flynn by not playing the ball with his hand. Deflects off of Connor Roche's head all the way back to Peter Sconzo for Simsbury. Again, Simsbury has the lead with just under 3 minutes to go in this game. Keegan Rice with the goal. And Spencer Rouse is taken out by a Manchester defender, and number 17 for Manchester kicks it off of Spencer Rouse. Matt Barney there for Manchester kicks it off of Spencer Rouse, who doesn't take too kindly to that, but the referee separates them. And now the defenders discussing the kick. Connor Roche will take it. Patrick Shea tries to ward off the defender and let the ball run, try and get another shot on goal. He has 1 goal here in the game. The goal scorers for Simsbury. The first goal was scored by Spencer Rouse, then the second by Patrick Shea, and then the third just about a minute and a half ago by Keegan Rice, and that may be the winning goal in this game. Headed away by Connor Roche, but none of his players, teammates, come up to get the ball. Connor Roche again clears to Patrick Shea. Spencer Rouse clears it up the field, as clearly Simsbury will bring defenders back behind the ball. They'll drop a few players and just play defense for the rest of the game instead of being caught with too many men up the field and give up an easy goal. Dylan Churko now with the ball, the captain for Manchester. Gives out wide. Manchester will definitely throw people forward here as they try to even up the score with just a minute and 15 seconds left in this game. Churko heads it forward. Giuliano gets a foot on it, clears it back to the defense. Every touch now for Simsbury will probably be a clearing kick if they can do it. Here's Mason Burr. He'll clear. Spencer Rouse keeps possession. John Flynn clears it all the way up the field. It deflects off of a Manchester player. And now the ball is just being pounded back and forth between teams here, as Manchester is trying to get the ball up the field as quickly as they can to get a score here. And Patrick Shea with a good ball there, as he doesn't boot it as hard as he can out of bounds. He just tries to make the defender go back and work and take some more time off the clock. 20 seconds now remaining in the game. Simsbury defending with their lives now as the ball goes out of bounds off a Manchester player. And it looks like that may be the final play here in the game, as there's 10 seconds left in the game. And wisely, Rick Olekna passes back to Connor Roche. And that will be the game as Simsbury comes away with the win. The final deciding goal by Keegan Rice, number 21, as he comes and gets congratulated by his players. A great goal by Keegan Rice with 3.5 minutes left remaining in the game, as the ball bounced around between players in the opposing 18-yard box, and Keegan Rice takes it off his left foot with Patrick Shea right there as well. But Keegan Rice gets it on his left foot and puts it in the side of the net to win this game for the Simsbury High School Trojans against the Manchester Indians with a score of 3-2. That brings Simsbury's record to 3-3-3. 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 ties, and drops the Manchester Indians to 3-6. 3 wins and 6 losses. Once again, Simsbury comes away with the win, 3-2 over the Manchester Indians. Thank you for watching.